Thank you for revisiting my channel. If you like the content of the video, please leave a like only. So now, let us begin. There was a building where people stayed. As it was late, most of them were asleep. However, a little while later, the whole building came down and disappeared out of the sight. Condominiums in the States, often known as condo in Korea, are flats that you can buy ownership of. The old residential buildings are called apartments, while new ones are called condominiums. Condominiums, where many households were residing in one building, were popular residential areas in metropolises. In Surfside, the community by the coastline, for residing in Miami, Florida of the USA. 3 buildings called Champlain Tower were constructed. From 1981 to 1984, 3 buildings were constructed in order. Champlain Tower, divided into 3 buildings, was constructed in the order of South, North, and East Champlain. All 3 buildings were in 12 stories shaped at a right angle. June 23, 2021, a day before the incident, there was a couple of ages way over 80, living in the southern Champlain. And in the eastern Champlain that was facing their home lived their son Sergio. They could see one another through the balcony. After having dinner at his parents' home, the son came back to his home and fell asleep around 10 p.m. unaware that was the last supper he had with his parents. At 1:10 a.m., 2 men passing by the southern Champlain heard a strange noise coming from the building and saw fragments of concrete falling away to the side. At around 1:14 a.m., the first collapse happened at the swimming pool of the southern Champlain. The deck of the swimming pool sank and fell on the cars in the underground parking lot. The building started to fall apart bit by bit, making the alarms of the car go off. People who were asleep in the condominiums started to wake up one after another. About 10 minutes after that, around 1:22 a.m., the middle part of the southern Champlain collapsed in the blink of an eye like a withered leaf falling. At the same time, Sergio, who was asleep in the eastern Champlain after dinner with his parents, woke up from a loud noise that he has never heard before. He immediately rushed to the origin of the sound and went out to the balcony through the window, but the only thing he saw was a cloud of dust instead of the building his parents used to live in. Even after the middle part collapsed, the side parts of southern Champlain stood firm on the ground for a moment. But within few seconds, the building to the east collapsed completely. The 2 enormous collapses happened in a matter of 12 seconds. Sergio, who rushed out of his home right after the incident, hurried toward the site, which was a pile of mess from crumbles. The dust and fragments of the building in the air were pouring down intermittently. The rest of the building that was barely standing, one side of the room was cut out, and the beds in the house were scattered around. Such things were very visible even from the outside. That's how damaged it was. Right after the incident, countless ambulances and firefighters who were sent quickly got busy with the rescue. Around 4 a.m., the rescue started to go all out, and several hundreds of rescue squads and dogs searched for survivors under the pile of concrete. The first survivor was relatively easier to rescue because they were crouching under the small gap formed in the complex pile of concrete. However, most other people were under tons of concrete, so they had to use special equipment, slowing down the whole rescue procedure. Just before the collapse, there were approximately 200 people in there. But only 30 to 40 people were rescued by 24th June, the day of the incident. The fate of the rest remained unknown. After the government of Florida declared a state of emergency, The United States Army Corps of Engineers, along with a special rescue squad and rescue teams from Israel and Mexico joined. More than 200 people worked tirelessly to rescue the people with 2 shifts of 12 hours each. After rescuing for a month, until the 26th July, they managed to collect 98 people. And 126 people survived. And Sergio's parents, whom I have mentioned, who were involved in an accident in the building, were discovered 2 days after the rescue began. It seems the incident happened while they were sleeping in their bed. They were found lying on the bed. Thankfully, they weren't damaged or injured severely. After the incident, Sergio remembered his parents' lives. His parents met each other when they were teenagers and were very close to each other. He tried to console himself, saying he is thankful that they were together during their last breaths too. In the research after the rescue, they focused on the swimming pool deck where the first collapse had happened. The waterproof material under the swimming pool deck was long overdue for replacement, making the concrete slab underneath massively damaged. And due to the massive permeation of salty water, the reinforcing rods were corroded. Moreover, the management facility knew about this in the building evaluation they carried out in 2018. But postponed the repair as the structure was so outdated that it can turn the foundation unstable when fixed. In April 2021, 2 months before the incident, they planned an enormous repair and announced it to the residents. But nothing was actually done until the incident. And before the incident, through the cracks of concretes at the underground parking lot below the swimming pool, people could see the corroded reinforcement rods exposed. The research of the collapsed fragments showed they used way less reinforcement rods than they planned to use. As a result, at the lower center of the southern Champlain Tower, a giant crater was formed due to the collapse of below the swimming pool deck and concrete slab. From there, the whole building came down helplessly. On 23 June 2022, a week before the anniversary of the incident, a total of $1.02 billion was given to the victims as settlement money, but the residents of the Champlain Tower are still under court debate regarding the incident. Thank you for watching until the end. If you have any opinion on the video or have a topic you would like to watch, please leave them as a comment. Thank you.